Hey guys, Tails here. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Tails, why are you an e-boy? This is not what we signed up for. Like, what's going on here? Well, my reasons are twofold, okay? As you guys know, I was here last week updating this world, updating all the avatars, and I kind of got inspired to put together a new avatar, which is something I haven't done in a long time. And more to the point, I haven't made an e-boy in a long time, so I'm like, well, okay. I got plenty of the furry avatars, okay? I got the Hobkin, which was my last one, and all the sheebs. I was kind of done with the animals. I wanted to do something e-boy. That's reason one. Throughout my many years of playing vrchat, and through all the science, I have figured this out. I said two, but third reason, it's kind of nice to be like a humanoid sometimes, and I don't like the big bahunga anime girls. I'm sorry. If you're subscribing to my channel ever expecting to see that, maybe as a joke or something, or for a specific video, but I would never. I can't. I'm sorry. There's plenty of guys and girls out there in vrchat who like those avatars. If you're looking for e-girls, you know, there's plenty of channels out there where you can find e-girls, but I'm sticking with e-boys and apparently furries. I'm not actually a furry. I just kind of like I like being a little animal, like who doesn't? And thanks to my friends, Misfit and Retro Sheep, this is probably one of the least scuffed e-boy avatars out there. Okay, like all the e-girls, they're all nicely made, everything, they're all like perfect form, and we all know why. But it is so hard to find a decent guy avatar on here. Let's be real, come on guys. Like all the e-boys you find, they're nice, but they're usually scuffed in some way. Like the arms move weird, they're not weight painted correctly and stuff. And personally, I don't know how to do most things. I can do very basic blender, like ooh, slap this on a model, import an MMD and then slap it into FBX, and you know, very basic stuff. So I'm thankful to have friends like Sheep and Misfit who will very kindly deal with my BS. But now that I have the base of the avatar for an e-boy, I really shouldn't have to bother them again, thank God. Like, I feel so bad about doing that, but I really wanted to put this together. I suffered for 3 days putting this together. Like I said, everything was kind of scuffed when I first got it. I had the ears rigged and the hair rigged, and the arms were a little scuffy, and eye tracking was all over the place. But hey, we powered through. Well, my friends powered through. They made it. I rebuilt this avatar myself like 20 different times, but now it's finally functional. Nothing is half as scuffed. I put like my own emotes and stuff on it. I'll just give you guys a little brief showing. I'm not going to show you guys the dances because I just added them and they're kind of scuffed, but as soon as toggleable, I can summon an orb, you know, just play around with it while I'm listening to the people's talk. Scarf, also toggleable, and vrchat cat. Because I was just kind of like looking for stuff to put on the model, and I just kind of stumbled across this. I'm like, okay, I'll just stick it on my head, call it a day. If I back up a little bit, you can see the full avatar. Look at that. I'm even in full body for the occasion. Look at that. Yeah, avatar creation is its own hell, but it's also its own reward, because you suffer, and then you suffer some more, and then you scream at Blender for 20 minutes. Then you export your model, you put it in Unity, and then you scream again because you broke something and your avatar is all contorted and there's just blend shapes everywhere, and you're like, dear God, all I did was remove all the edgy e-boy chains off my hands and now everything is dyed. So then you put it back into Blender, basically do the same thing you did before, export the model, but this time it works. You don't question it, it just works, and you roll with it. Yeah, it works. You take it and then you upload it, and then you put it in vrchat, and then you don't like it, and then you have to go fix it again. And of course, that might be your final render, but then of course you could just find something else when you're testing. So then you have to put the model back in Blender, and then when you export it, your model you have to do it as a separate file and rebuild, because if you just put it as your old model, it just explodes. You don't know why. It just does. But this is the basic suffering that goes behind avatar creation, and that has been my life. So I was very thankful to have my friends there to help bail me out, because I probably would have just got bored. But I'm so glad I have the prefab now, because now I can just play around with it and build whatever, and I'm away, I'm free. Now I have the prefab and everything's set up. I can play around with it for the future, and I finally have a decent e-boy base to work with, because let's face it, there are none. They do not exist. Females everywhere. Males, not so much. But we create, we fill the void, we fill the gap, we have fun. What else do I have to talk about? Ah, yes. Don't think I didn't notice, guys. Yeah, I totally noticed. I was at work the last couple of days, and I'm just kind of like, every so often, checking the YouTubes, just really working hard, really making sure that I am getting paid to work. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually really good at work. I don't get on my phone that often, like just a quick check. But anyway, I was checking my phone, and then I was just watching sub. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And then I get home and I see all the views. I'm like, okay, I don't know what happened, but I'm not complaining. So hi to all the new subscribers. My name's Tails. I'm a dork. I make worlds and scuffed avatars that people have to fix for me. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Oh, and of course I draw. Check out my comic series, Tame on Webtoon, link in the description. Yes, we're getting those transitions in again. Alright, as far as this world is going, I'm not saying it's dead, but after all the suffering I went through, it's cruising for a little bit. It'll definitely be a thing that I work on as I feel like it, and not a main focus, because creating worlds takes time, and even though I already had the base, just fixing everything took several days of my life, and I'm kind of happy with where the world is at right now. There's some stuff I want to add, but it's figuring out how to do it, which is basically just describing world creation in a nutshell. Let's be real. But as with anything, I always have these massive plans in my head, and getting them into reality is a completely different thing. There's different things I want to add, but it's a case of, can I do it? I made it this far with zero knowledge on world creation, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future of whatever the hell my brain comes up with. But yes, I do like to make these update videos every now and again to let you guys know what I've been doing, sometimes vaguely in life, but also in vrchat, because they're a lot of fun. And I didn't spend all my hours suffering putting this avatar together not to show it off or talk about it. So I think we can all relate to the suffering of Blender. I remember when I first started, don't have my first avatar. Okay, guys. Okay, right. We're gonna explore here. The history of Tails back in 2017. This is probably my second upload. My first upload was a Mew that was upside down, and the textures were all messed up. So do with that information what you will. But this was my second upload. I think it's quality. You don't really get this kind of quality in vrchat. See, I'll do a little turn view. It's like T-posing, asserting dominance constantly. I think this is just really a power move for my first avatar. I was T-posing before it was a thing. This was before T-posing. Oh god, I forgot about the jump. This is before T-posing was a dominant trait in vrchat. I was ahead of the game. I knew exactly what I was doing. This was 100% on purpose. 100% totally meant to do this. But this is an avatar I'm not going to remove it because it's fun. It's pretty funny. I would show you guys more, but I just discovered they're either A, not there, or B. I'm currently in full body, and I was desktop when I first started on VRChat, so they don't exactly function in full body. The distortion was real. Just know that they're kind of cringy. So yes, if you are starting out making avatars, just know you cannot do much worse than that. If ever you were like, I don't want to do this. Like, that was for me too. When I first started making avatars, I was like, God, that looks scary and a lot of work. Like, I'll never be able to learn all that. That's like big brain. Like, Blender is still kind of like that for me. I never really want to touch that. That's scary. Every time I put a model in there, it just breaks. So I just really don't want to mess with Blender. Like, unless I'm putting MMD to FBX or whatever. That's all I need it for. When I was first starting out avatars, it was very daunting, and I very much failed, as you guys just saw. This was also when VRChat first started, so there was like very few tutorials out there to help me, and I'm stubborn, so I don't think I even looked at tutorials because I'm like, nah, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm smart, I'm big brain. And now I look at tutorials because I've become smarter. Not necessarily big brain, but I've become slightly less cocky with things, and I actually know sometimes I will struggle for like an hour and then look it up. Like, it's like having the instructions in front of you in real life, and you're just like, nah, I got this. Struggle for 5 hours, and you're like, okay, I'll look at the thing, and then you look at this thing, and you figure it out in like 2 minutes. It's like, I could have saved some of my life, but I didn't. But yeah, avatar creation can be very daunting, but like, the easy stuff is very easy, and then once you learn 3.0 avatar setup, at first, that can be even more confusing, but I found an easier way for me to learn that was to get prefabs, like avatars already made up. For me, in the Kitten March Band Discord, if you just search Kitten March Band /KMB in Discord, you'll come up with their Discord, but there they have a kitten model download that's 3.0. And that's how I learned, is I got that model and I saw how that was set up, and I just kind of like backwards engineered it and swapped out stuff from my avatars, and that's how we learned some of that. and then of course, as I get more prefabs, I see what other people have done, and I implement it onto more of my avatars, and then sometimes I just look up tutorials. But that's the basic gist of how I work. After breaking things. Despite what I was saying earlier about the struggles, it's a lot of fun putting it all together. Like, getting things to work is the real suffering. Sometimes Blender and Unity, sometimes they just don't want to communicate all that well. Like, it will work in Blender and then you put it in Unity and you're just like, why? Yeah, that happens. And then it will work in Unity and then you put it in VRChat and it's like, suffering. But if you look beyond that, once you're through all of that, putting the actual avatar together, once you know how to do it, like get to the scarf to turn off and on, like it takes seconds, minutes to do it, and like once everything's together, it's just so rewarding to get into VRChat and actually just play around with the model once you're done. But if you're trying to look into avatar creation, it's like anything. You're never going to be great when you first start. It's easier to get a prefab first, get a free 3.0 avatar, whatever, and then just backwards engineer it, put a custom texture on, start off easy. It's custom textures, get things to turn off and on, and then once you've learned that, then you can go on and create your own avatar. Pretty much how I've been learning since 2017. It's not necessarily going to take you 3 years to get. It's basically what I've been doing since 2017. Yeah, it definitely takes time, and you saw in my last video, and if you haven't, go check that out. But in my last video, P.S. not always going to be recording in this world. I just happened to be here, and I got the Amitheum avatar, so I'm here. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, you saw in my last video, the broke version of Ami I had, where it was like literally upside down. Yeah, that still happens to me, and I laugh, I work through the pain, and then I move on. Some of the fails I have had have been so cringy that I have just swapped out the avatar so fast for an older build. Like, that is my advice to you too, is if you have your prefab, if ever you're switching between Blender or whatever, always be like, example, this is saved as Ami, and then export Ami 2, and rebuild your model and test it unless you have a backup of your original AMI file so that you can swap it out immediately, because otherwise you're just gonna have like you're gonna break everything, and then you're not gonna have your original file. Been there. Not fun. Again, that's why it's great to have prefabs, because you might have to backtrack and rebuild a lot. It's obviously not going to take you as long to rebuild it, but it's still a pain in the ass. Can I say that on YouTube? It's still a pain in the derriere, but, you know, rebuilding is just a part of making avatars. It's a fun time. But it'll be worth it. I promise. It'll be worth it when you finally have your own custom avatar and you're not having... Oh god, don't even get me started. That just reminded me of the vrchat avatars. Like the custom avatar default avatars. vrchat, why? Like, those avatars have been there since 2017. We have evolved. We have moved on. We have updated our textures. We're in 3.0. And you're still trying to push those chintzy, blocky avatars. And it's even worse if you're using a PC avatar and you have Quest people, because then they see your like chintzy vrchat fallback avatar. If your model's not in Quest, I'm hoping to get a Quest version of this. I know it's gonna look awful, but I don't have to look at it, so that's fine. But it's better than looking at a giant raccoon, which is what my current fallback avatar is, because it's like either the giant raccoon, a giant disco ball with arms, or you're like a mushroom I don't the fallback avatars are so bad. You can't even, like, there's so many good Quest avatars out there now, and you can't select any of the uploaded by other viewers as your fallbacks. It's like I'll be sitting in a world sometimes, and then I've told the story before, and then they'll just see like a giant raccoon, and it's just like, I'm sorry, that's not the real me. You just I get a cable, or look at the raccoon. I don't know what to tell you. That is my fallback until further notice. I can't even set my own avatars as fallbacks, so it's like, why? Anyway, I think that's all I have for this video. It was kind of a mix of updates and obviously thanking and welcoming my new subscribers and viewers, and of course thank you for the likes and comments as usual, and then on to like a little tangent about avatar creations. We had a bit of everything in today's video. I had a fair amount to catch up on. Like I said, it's been a while since I made one of these videos, so thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, you continue to blow my mind with the amount of support that's been happening on this channel, and the amount of support that continues to happen on this channel, and the increase in subs and everything, and the viewers has just been so great to see, and I love it. Thank you guys so much. You're all amazing. Check out my world, Okami VR, link in the description if you have not checked it out already. Unfortunately, it's PC only. As I said, I have very basic world creation knowledge, and I think this world would just look not great in Quest anyway, so I'm sorry, but this world is PC only. I did make a tour video if you guys want to see more of the world, or, you know, watch more of my videos and I'll show you different angles. Anyway. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good boy.
Hey, Mr. Mystery.